Hey, this is Ashley from Shareist. We're talking about using curation as a content marketing strategy, and I'm just going through a couple ways you can do that really quickly using Shareist. I'm going to show you today how if you see a bunch of posts around a certain topic, you could quickly curate them into one post for your audience. In the blog post, I talked about how trying to do research on the internet is a little bit like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hydrant, and you can imagine what that is like. So you very likely have an audience that is looking for somebody to break down the content that appears all over the internet into more easily consumable pieces. So this is one of the ways that you can be known as an expert in your area or a thought leader about a certain topic, just by defining for your audience which articles they really should be noticing on the internet. So I chose a topic, the recent Google algorithm updates, the Panda updates that have happened recently and in the past, and the payday updates and the possible penguin updates. There is so much out there on the internet right now that defines what's going on with those, and there's a lot of incorrect information, there's a lot of guesses, and I know one of my audiences would be very interested in knowing which articles they should actually be paying attention to. So I chose this as a topic, and what I did is I pulled up the articles, as I'm reading on the internet about these topics, I pulled the articles together that I thought were very important, but I happen to have them up on my browser right now, but I may be reading through my email and I find an article that's great, and whenever I see something that comes up that has to do with the topic that I want to share, and I feel like it's an article I do want to share, I would just grab it with the Shareist bookmarklet. So I'm going to just click on the little icon in my Chrome browser. It's really easy to add, and I'm going to add these articles into the project Prosperant, because that's the audience that I believe would really enjoy these articles or find benefit in me curating these articles for them. So I'm going to pick my project, which is Prosperant, and then I'm going to tag these articles with relevant tags. Penguin update. I'm going to also choose algorithm change. And these are only for my own purpose so that I can search later based on topics to pull together a curated post. I could either choose to go ahead and curate this and add it to a page, but I already showed you how to do that in another video, so I'm going to close and this will be added to my inbox. This is assuming that over the week I've found several different articles that now I want to go back and curate. Again, from this share screen I could add it to a page right here, or I could share it straight to my social media, but I want to just add it to the inbox. So I'm going to come back to my Prosperant inbox in Shareist. I'm going to refresh so you can see the latest one I just added. And all of those that I added with the bookmarklet, I will see appear right here in my inbox. They happen to be all at the top because I just added them, but if I wanted to search by a tag that I had used, I could go ahead and sort them by, I'm going to choose algorithm change because I know that I put that on all of them. And those 5 that I want in a post happen to come up right here. All I have to do is select these 5, click add to a page, and I'm going to have a new page that I can title however I want, and I can change this later so I don't have to think too much about it. But I'm going to call them recent SEO updates. Again, I would probably choose a more creative title, but I can go back and do that later so I don't spend too much time on it. And that's going to be part of affiliate news. So I add a new page, and then I'm going to have the opportunity to either go ahead and publish that to the blog from here, or I can edit it. So I'm going to select to edit it. You'll see now that all of these are added to a page that will be easily published to my blog. What I want to do now is reorder them in a way that I think will make sense, and then I'm going to use them to write a post to my readers. And one of the best parts about Shareist is these elements are all different building blocks. I don't have to copy and paste anything, so I can add in pieces of text right here if I want to. I can define why I'm sharing this particular item. I can add a photo right there, another link, a quote. So I can add any of those elements in without having to start over. Now, I actually did write this post already before starting the video so that you wouldn't have to take the time to watch what I'm writing. And you'll see here how I reordered them in a way that I felt like made sense. I added an introductory paragraph and then one bolded line about why I'm adding that article in there. So I mentioned that I'm not sure if this update is actually happening, or at the time that I was writing this, we weren't sure if that was happening, but here's some information. And then I talked a little bit about how it's having an impact on small businesses and added the link in. And the purpose of this post was actually to introduce a beta program where we are going to start helping some of our affiliates that have been affected by the algorithm updates. So I added in one more conclusion paragraph about that new beta program, and I added in the link of the site that we're going to start off with in doing that program. So as you can see, I just pulled these all together. If I wasn't sure I had gotten everything I wanted to, I could come visit over here, pull up my inbox and search on SEO just to make sure I got everything I wanted to from my inbox. And I think I did, so I'm going to skip ahead to publish. And from here, I'll be able to publish to whichever blogs I have connected to this project. So right now at Prosperant, we are using the Shareist blog that's hosted on Shareist. I could have added a WordPress blog in here, but for Prosperant, we use the actual Shareist hosted. So I will set a campaign. These are linked to my Google Analytics. I'm going to select which author on that blog I want this to be posted by. I'm going to select the category. These, if I had my WordPress blog connected, these categories would come straight from my WordPress blog. And then the status, I can make it private if I don't want anybody else to see it yet. I can make it public, or I can make it hidden so they can only see it if they have the actual URL. I may want to change my URL in the settings if I want it to say something different in the URL. But I'm going to go ahead and update that. It's publishing to that blog now, and then I can click when it's published. I can see it on the blog. So you can see this took on the look and the colors that I've chosen for the blog, and it appears just like this. So if I was publishing to a WordPress blog, it would just have the center column of from Shareist, and then it would take on the look of the WordPress blog I was posting to. So all of the widgets would be the same, and the sidebar would be the same, the header and the footer would be the same. It would just take up that center column. So once that's published to my blog, I'm done. Or I can take it a step further and I can share to my social media. All of the social media I have connected to this project appears here. So I have several different Twitter accounts that are connected. And every time I want to post to a different platform, Shareist is going to change the format. So I can post this to Twitter. I can schedule it to share several times. So I can schedule it to share now. I can schedule it to share again on Monday. And then I can schedule it to share next Tuesday if I want to. So those will continue sharing out whenever I've asked it to. And then I would click post. I can share to Facebook. All of my Facebook groups and pages are right here. I select which one I want to share to, and then I can add my comment just like I would on Facebook. I can change the description here of the article. I can change the picture that goes along with it. I can make it look however I want to post to Facebook. Shareist automatically opts to have it share at the same times you had it share to Twitter, and vice versa. Or I can easily delete those and have it share at a different time if I don't want it going out on all of my social media at the same time. At this point, I can save those posts as a draft, or I can save them for another team member to review. I'm going to go ahead and close this out because I don't actually want this to share onto social media right now. And then again, if I wanted to take it one step further, I could export it. If I had my MailChimp or Constant Contact newsletter connected here, then I could just click the newsletter button and it would automatically go out to my newsletter subscribers. Or if I used a newsletter subscriber that was not connected inside of Shareist, I could have this come out as HTML and then I could copy and paste it into my newsletter client. I can make this into a PDF so that perhaps I want to share it as a white paper on my blog in exchange for email signups, or I want to give it away to some of my readers. It'll just come out looking, it'll have a consistent look with all of the blog posts and newsletters. I can also copy and paste the plain text or the markdown, so I can use it in any of those ways. If I enable the click tracking, again, it's going to connect with my Google Analytics campaigns, and I will be able to see results in my Google Analytics campaigns from it. So this is just a quick way, again, to do a topic-based curated post using Shareist, and as you can see, it just took a couple minutes. So go ahead and give it a try and let us know how it goes.